gonna be a long video, I can tell. Hi everybody, I hope everyone's doing well. Well, today is July 13th, 2021, and I'm here to do a get ready with me video and story time video. I thought I would combine these two. I thought it would be fun to do it this way, or interesting. I'm going to try to do it because I have a hard time concentrating on what I'm doing in terms of like putting on my makeup and trying to talk at the same time. So this is definitely going to be challenging. The story that I wanted to share with you guys is something that I had alluded to a little bit in my past videos when I first came back after having the Rona. I had told you guys that I had a story to share with you that involved my mom, and that I did want to share that with you guys, and I am ready to do that. So let's just get on with this, and I will chit chat, put my makeup on, and tell you this story. Okay, so bear with me, guys. Okay, first I'm going to put on this Bliss Rose Gold Rescue. Oh, that's another thing, guys. I probably won't be like telling you every product because it'd be way too long for me to do it. But I do want to share this Bliss Rose Gold Rescue. I got this at Marshall's on clearance, and I think I paid $2.50 if I'm not mistaken. I love this stuff. I don't know, the way it comes on. Let me show you. You see that? I don't know if that came up on the camera, but it's really like a mist. It's really, really nice. And it smells really good. It does smell like rose. Really, really nice. I like that. And it is so hot right now. Ooh, I have tried to like curl my hair and it won't take because I'm just like a sweat ball. All right, guys. So for those of you who are new to my channel, let me just sort of catch you guys up just a little bit, and welcome. I had the Rona back in November, late November, early December. I had the Rona, and so did my mom, and so did my 27-year-old. Well, we all did, but we ended up in the hospital. Unfortunately, my mom did not make it and passed away December 10th. I want to share with you something that happened that was a real blessing to me. And I didn't see the blessing like right away. I saw it after I got out of the hospital. The following day in the morning, I called the hospital that my mom was staying at, and I wanted to find out how she was doing. Prior to that, I was getting updates by my brother and husband and things like that, right? And so I called the hospital, and basically the nurse told me that it was a wait and see type of situation. I felt though that she, in her voice, you know, if you can pick up anything in people's voices, I pretty much picked up that it didn't look good, right? But she adamantly say, we just have to wait. At this point, there was nothing that they can do for her, and it was basically what her body was able to do for her. I hung up the phone, you know, and later on that evening, around 6:30ish, 7:30, the hospital calls me and says, your mom, oh, I'm sorry, I'm jumping around. It's hard for me to do this, but I had told the hospital in the morning to let her know that I was home, okay? My mother knew that we were in the hospital as well, okay? My mom went first to the hospital, I believe. My mom went first to the hospital, then my son, Aaron, my 27-year-old, and then myself. So she knew that we three were in. And I just told her to please tell my mom that that I was home, okay? This was in the morning. In the evening, around 6:30, 7 o'clock, the nurse FaceTimes me, and she says, your mother wants to talk to you, but she can't talk. You're gonna have to yell when you speak to her. You have to yell. It's because she's not gonna be able to really be able to hear you. At this point, my mom had, she never was intubated. She had said she didn't want intubation. And so she had I forget what you call them. I should ask my son. But basically it's like a full-on mask, like goes around. Yeah, and it's like padding right here and everything that like surrounds your face. And then she had like like direct oxygen, I think, that was going into her mouth with this little thing, so she couldn't talk again, but she wasn't intubated. When they first brought the phone to her, my mom cannot see without her glasses, but they told her where the phone was, you know, so she can look towards the phone. And I saw my mom really trying hard to try to focus in on me, but there was no way. I knew it. So I started telling her right away, I started telling her that I was home, right? I started saying, I'm home, I made it. I knew she needed to hear that, and I also knew she needed to hear that Aaron made it and that we were all okay. And so that was the first thing that I communicated to her. My mom at this point really didn't have any strength at all, nothing, no strength, but I could tell she was trying to hold her head up to try to focus in on the phone and to try to hear what I was saying and also to try to communicate with me. So I'm going to leave you here with that for now, and we're going to go back a little bit, probably about a week before we got actually sick. Okay, so this was maybe around November 12th, November 11th, around there. Okay, we all got sick pretty much around November 19th and things like that. So this was about November 12th. My husband at that time was quizzing me because I was taking some ASL classes, and my midterm was coming up really close, and so my husband would quiz me, and so would my mom. Okay, and again, I don't know if I said this, but I was taking sign language, and so I was learning a lot of signs. We were having to put them into stories, and so my husband was quizzing me. When he was quizzing me, there was a particular sign that he found very interesting. It was so much interesting to him that it was like a big deal. My husband was just like, really, that's the sign for this? And I'll tell you what it was. Later on that night, or that evening, my mom made us dinner, and she called us down for dinner. And I was helping my mom, you know, put everything on the table and whatnot. And I was, powdery. And I was telling my mom, I said, Mom, Chad, my husband, finds this particular sign interesting. So, my mom goes, oh, what sign is that? And I show my mom the sign. My mom goes, oh, wow, okay. Because my mom would also quiz me for a certain test. So she was learning a little bit of sign language herself. Now we're going to go back to the hospital. Once I told my mom that we were okay, that I made it, that Aaron made it, and everything else, she seemed extremely agitated. And she kept going like this. Now, my mom had no energy. My mom had no energy what to speak of. It was very difficult for her to do anything. Just to move. She couldn't even hold up her own head. The nurse, there was two nurses in with her at the time, and the one gentleman was holding her head towards the phone. And she was just animate, and she kept doing this. And the nurse, one of the nurses, says, I have no idea what she's doing. I have no idea. I started talking to my mom about things of faith, okay? We believe the same faith. We were of the same faith. And so I started expressing all of those things. Now, my mind frame was to be so many things were going on in my brain at that time, because I didn't know that my mom was ready to go. And so I didn't want her to feel any sort of pressure from me to tell her to keep fighting if she wanted to go home. So I didn't want my mom to feel any pressure from me to say, hang on, Mom, keep fighting, if she in her mind was mentally ready. So I didn't want to add any pressure to her, is what I'm trying to say. Oops. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to communicate the things that I felt in my mind were like, in case she's ready to go, that without saying, Mom, you ready to go home? I didn't want to say those words, but I wanted her to feel that okayness. So what I started doing is I just started talking to her about the things that we believe in our faith. And so I sort of was talking to her about those things, and I saw instantly her relax, her collapse, and no longer struggling to do this, no longer forcing that vision onto the phone. I kept telling my husband after that, night after night, like 2 nights, I kept telling my husband, I missed something. I know I missed something. And my husband says, no, my mom had already passed. I said, I know I missed something. And he says, no, you didn't. You covered everything. You talked to her about things that she needed to hear, you know, in terms of our faith and all that. And I kept saying, no, I feel like I missed something. I feel like I missed something. And it really, when I tell you guys, it almost felt like torturous, because I felt so guilty. Like I felt like, I don't know, I just felt some kind of way. Well, let me tell you what happened. One night I went to bed, and I don't know if I fell asleep completely, like if I was in deep sleep. I can't tell you that because I don't know. I don't remember. But I remember sitting up. I mean, just sitting up. And my husband was asleep. He was asleep. And I am like, oh my God, oh my God. And I just kept saying that over and over. My husband wakes up. He says, what, you know? And I said, I know what she was telling me. She was telling me funeral. She was going funeral. This is the sign for funeral. And the first thing she did after she heard I was here, I was home, I'm okay, Aaron is fine, he's home, he's here, he's okay. The next thing she did, trying to muster all the strength she had, was to say funeral. And she kept doing this, and then her hands would collapse. Then she kept going back, and then her hands would collapse. And I know it took every ounce of strength in her to communicate that to me. It really did. The nurses that were there were like, I have no idea what she's saying. I have nothing. I don't know what she's doing. In fact, one of the nurses kept trying to put her arms, or like her hands down, but she would try to come back up, and she just, you know. And the blessing in it was that even though I didn't get it at the time, what she was telling me, that I subsequently, after that, I talked about basically things that she and I talked about when it came to our faith, without physically saying, you know, go home. If, you know, it's okay, go home. You know, I didn't want to put that out there, because I thought I really wanted her to fight, but at the same time, I had it in me, by the grace of God, to talk about those things. And it was almost right after that is when she literally just stayed collapsed, just listening to me. And after that moment of realizing what my mother told me, she was saying, I'm going home. I'm going home. And she used the sign that we were talking about. There's so many signs that I've learned in ASL, so many. And this particular sign is a sign that was a topic of conversation. It was a purpose for that sign. She felt that she communicated her message of going home. And I believe my mom left thinking that when she was doing this, that I finally got it. And that's why I started talking to her about what I started talking to her about. It was almost like just divine intervention, you know? It really, really was. But she collapsed. She started feeling comfortable. Like, I could tell she wasn't agitated. And after that moment, after realizing what she was trying to tell me, I often asked myself, if I would have caught it at that moment, like at the moment she signed it, and I knew what she was signing to me, funeral, that would I had changed my conversation with her? Probably just to tell her more directly, it's okay to go home. But everything else I told her would have been the same. You know what I mean? Would have been the same. It was a gift. It was a gift. It was a gift for her in her last minutes, but it was a gift that I live with you know, now I live with it, knowing that it was a gift given to me, because I feel, because I had that moment, that I was able to send her off, in a sense, right? In a sense that I was able to sort of let her hear the things that I know she needed to hear at that moment, you know. And again, I think that's all was imposed on me by our faith and by what we believe in. It is a gift. It was a beautiful gift, and I think it was a gift for my mom in her moment, and it's a gift for me for forever long I am here, you know. It really, really is. It's one of the things that really keeps me going. I don't know how to explain it, but it's one of those things that really keep me going. Yeah, makes me feel good, you know, when I think about it. Again, would I have said anything different if I would have caught on to it sooner? No, but what it did do to me, like I said, what it did do once I realized what was said, was I stopped torturing myself and telling myself, you missed something, you missed something. No, you didn't miss anything. You got it. You got it right, you know? You know, I never told my mom, hang in there, hold on, you know, don't you leave us. No, I didn't say anything. I just didn't do that. You know, she would quiz me a lot of times with ASL, a lot of times. But, you know, she never really, other than a couple of signs, she really never, like, kept anything in her mind. You know what I mean? She would often ask me, what was the sign for this again? What was the sign for that again? You know, stuff like that. But this sign, she remembered, and she used that to communicate to me that she was going home. I really enjoyed doing this with you guys. I really, really did. I hope that, you know, this, I don't know, that you guys liked it. You know, took me a little bit to share it with you guys, but I think that that's understandable. And now I'm in a really good place where I can remember those things and just feel really happy and proud and blessed, you know, that the Lord gave me that for me to live with while I'm here. One thing I heard not too long ago, share your blessings. Share them out. And yeah, I agree. So that's why I really wanted to do this for you guys, but I can do the ones for my dad too. I might just go ahead and do that because I think it's my hair. It's nice that we hear things like this now, you know. Okay, my friends, there it is. There is the finished look. Thank you guys for listening to me. I wanted to share this story with you guys because this particular thing really just the way everything fit, you know what I mean? And it makes me be able to look back and feel at peace. And I'm glad that I shared that with you guys. You know, I started doing my channel, part of it was story time. I like telling stories. I like telling events, you know, and things like that. I really, really do. I've always been that way. My mom used to always tell me that she would love listening to me talk because the way I set it all up. She would always tell me, I could sit here and listen to you all day, Laura, because the way you tell your stories or whatever, you make me intrigued. She would always tell me that, really. And I've always loved doing them, and I want to continue to do them in my channel. But if there's something in specific you guys want to hear about or anything like that, let me know. I'm gonna come up with a couple ideas that I can do. I don't know if I'll necessarily be getting ready and telling the story. Do you like that format? While I'm getting ready and I'm talking to you guys, let me know. Or I can just do a downright sit down. So anyways, that's it. Before I let you guys go, let's look at this eye look, shall we? Obviously,
this is the inspiration
for that. This shirt, I just got it at the Goodwill about 2 weeks ago. And kind of like, does it have like a peacock? Kind of looks like it. But anyways, I drew from all of these colors. All of these colors are in my eye look. All of them. So I kind of pulled everything. I didn't know where, I mean, at first I have to admit, when I was first putting on the shadows, I had never done this look ever, never. I didn't practice this look. I didn't say, well, let me rehearse this look a little bit. No, no, no. This is right off the cuff. I did not practice this. And I just didn't know. And at first I'm thinking, oh my God, it looks like vomit, you know, at first. But I don't know. I kind of like it. What do you guys think? All right, my friends, talk to you guys soon in another story time. Maybe get ready and story time together. Kind of, you know, this is a kind of get ready-ish, right? It's a kind of get ready-ish and story time. All right, my friends, talk to you later. Take care. Be safe, and I'll see you soon. All right, bye.
With you.